Is not working. Is not working. Okay, let's try to start with it not working. Uh-huh. No. Yes. Now. Okay, it's working. Yeah, I'm moving. Not perfectly, but I'm moving. Well, anyway, the curtains opens once more. Welcome, one and all. I'm a bit late. I'm sorry. Hi, Pievi. Hi, Pig. Welcome. I'm a tiny bit late. I am sorry. I was having a tiny bit of problems. Tiny bit of problems. All right. Today we try a tiny bit of a new format. Instead of playing, we're gonna start to watch stuff. We're gonna try to watch stuff that I can then cut out and upload single-handedly on YouTube instead of an entire live. I'm not sure of how that works. We'll see how it goes. I'm not that sure anyway. If I do this, it's not the best. not the best. Okay. I should have practiced a bit more. I should have practiced a bit more. First reaction, yeah. I don't know. I should have practiced a bit more. I was laying in bed till 10 minutes ago. Mostly. My head was in a bad place. My head was in a very bad place. I was laying in bed instead of prep streaming. Okay. Maybe I can... I am almost never fully okay. But that's life. Who is? Cura, what the fuck? There is Cura in chat? I didn't see Cura. How do I... Okay. I didn't want to do this. Yes. Wait. This is quite good. I don't know why. This specific layout is good, but this is quite good. Huh. Ah. I like. Oh, this is almost perfect. It also has the sound alert. It has this is great. Okay. I solved problems that I randomly. I have no idea how or how, but I definitely solved problems. Oh boy, nice, very nice. All right, let's switch you a bit. There we go. Let's make you a bit bigger. There we go. Ah, follow my command. Thank you. There we go. Center. In the center. All right. Now. Time to get a video. Fortunately, I got video. On that, I got prepared. I have an entire playlist of stuff that it seems good to watch and to talk. So we can start. I can choose one of these and let's go from there. Let's see. It's a lot of D&D stuff because at least I have something to say. Let's see. Ranking class, ranking bar, subclass. Species, paladin, subclasses, races. Oh, this. Yeah, this seems a good start. The best and worst cantrip in D&D. Seems interesting enough. Nope. Stay still, my friend. I wish I had a better setup. There we go. I should have practiced more. Yeah. But the scarf is part of it all, isn't it? Add. Capture screen. I'm gonna call this YouTube. Yeah, we have a big face. There we go. Mostly. Now you go a bit down. Here is perfect. Then I fixed you there. Nice. Is the beautiful thing of life. Yes, exactly. All right. We have a bit of stuff here. Nice. Mostly. All right. I have never done one of these before. Let me get some noise. Yeah, we have this beautiful face. All right. I'm gonna edit this. Since this one will get also, I'll try at least to re-upload it cut. So without the scuff, we'll have the scuffed version, unscuffed version on YouTube probably. I should also have some kind of intro. I have no idea. So I'll make one up on the spot because yes. Boy. What can I say? What can I say? I never did this. I watch a lot of reaction content. I watch a lot of reaction content, but yet I'm not prepared to do one. The beautiful of stuff. Let's see. Title, I mean. I'm gonna repeat it in a second, but this is the best and worst cantrip in D&D. Is a 17-minute video that will probably last a lot longer because the title is forbidden. I'm not gonna do a reaction. I'm gonna do a commentary. At least I'll try to do a commentary. For anyone that doesn't know the difference, is basically the YouTuber that watch the 20-minute video and produce 25-minute videos is the reactor, and someone like, I don't know, Asmongold that watch 30-minute videos and create a 70-minute content is commentary. That's the difference. If you talk a lot about it, it becomes a commentary. All right. Hi everyone. Hi Master, your hopefully favorite puppet, and this is the first time I do any kind of intro, so I have no idea what to say. This is also the first time I try to do any kind of reaction content, so welcome. Don't hate me. Arigato. What we're watching today is D&D stuff. We're watching D&D stuff. This is the best and worst cantrip in D&D by... I think the channel is actually called D&D Short. I am not sure at the moment because I don't wanna windowize it. Yeah, okay, D&D Short. Yeah. Link of the original video is anyway in the description, so follow and support the original content creator and just watch me if you want later, or I don't know, do your best. You can now officially put together both shots. You will have to teach me how to do that. That being said, let's go. Let's do some content. It didn't work.
Here are the 5 best and 5 worst cantrips in D&D 5e. 5th best, prestidigitation.
Stop. Fair. Stop. It went so fast. It went so fast. Wait. Too fast. It went way too fast. I thought there would have been a bit more explanation or emphasis that I could talk about. So we have 10 spell. We're gonna have 10 cantrips in this video. All right. We have the 5 best and the 5 worst. Let's talk a bit about it then. Let's talk a bit about it. All right. Alright. What do we wanna talk? What do we wanna try to predict first? We're going for the best or for the worst first? I think best is a bit easier. I mean, we have a spoil. We already got a spoiled one. We have prestidigitation that is amazing. I never did a single mage character without it. And if you're playing a cleric, you go for thaumaturgy as a replacement, so to say. But so we have 4 other spots. Best cantrip in D&D. Best cantrip in D&D. I think we're gonna see Minor Illusion. Minor Illusion is amazing as a cantrip. Let me think. We could be seeing I'm trying not to think only of damage. Okay, the first spot is gonna be Eldritch Blast. Like, to me, it's not even a question. First spot is gonna be Eldritch Blast. There's not a better cantrip in 5e than Eldritch Blast. It's a D10 damage cantrip that does force damage, and that alone is absurd, because nothing has force resistance or immunity. And when it grows up at like level 5, it doesn't get a new dice, like, I don't know, most other stuff, like I don't know, Frost Ray, but it gets an entire new attack, so you can target the same target with multiple attacks with a single cantrip, or multiple targets. And that is without even thinking that the main class that has it can personalize the fuck out of it. So you can throw enemy away, you can get enemy to you, you can do stuff. You can do extra damage with the adding charisma stat. The Druid Whip is also very good. It's not normally a bonus action, only in Beast 3 though. It's not that great because you have so many other stuff that you could use. The best one, the true best one, the only real good feature is the throwing the target to you. Is not pushing. It's not throwing. How do you say it? I have no idea. Anyway. No, it's the moving the target towards you. That's the real utility of that. Let's see, worst stuff. Let's see, True Strike. I 100% expect to see a True Strike in the worst cantrips. I absolutely expect that. Okay, True Strike is also in BG3, I think. But basically, you use an action to empower your next attack, and the next turn you have advantage in the attack. But if you don't attack, you lose the advantage, because True Strike only lasts for 1 turn. So you're basically throwing away a turn. Because you are sacrificing 1 attack in order to gain an advantage on the next attack. That could also miss because it's just an advantage. You have so many ways to get advantage in 5e. You're just better doing 2 normal attacks than just 1 with advantage. It's like the worst possible action economy of a spell. Talking about action economy of cantrip and how True Strike is this awful, in the best, we're probably gonna see Booming Blade or Flaming Blade. I don't remember the name specifically, but all those cantrip that empower the attack and lets you attack in the same turn. So like Booming Blade, you empower, you do an attack with your weapon, and if you hit, you also do extra damage and like move the enemy. Or there is a Flame one that also do fire damage and put the enemy on fire, so it takes extra damage the turn after. That we're gonna absolutely see. So of 5 best, Prestidigitation is out, and we already have of the 4 remaining. I'm gonna call Minor Illusion. I'm gonna call Booming Blade or a sister of those cantrips. And I'm calling first place Eldritch Blast. I'm not even calling that is in the 5 best. I'm calling first place. Worst. I'm honestly getting the True Strike as probably the worst all, but I'm not thinking of many other incredibly bad things. Minor Illusion. It lets you cast stuff. You can create a minor illusion in your hands, like an image, or you can do a voice, a sound. A crafty player can do a lot with that. Okay, but cantrips usually are an action. We're not talking about best bonus action. A good cantrip doesn't necessitate to be an attack. It doesn't necessitate to be an attack, a good cantrip. It only necessitates to be great. And Minor Illusion is amazing. Well, let's see.
Vegetation. Look, I know you want to hear about all the cool ways to murder people, and we'll get to that, but it's not all about murder.
Oh, Prestidigitation is amazing.
Some cantrips are just pure utility. So Prestidigitation lets you do a bunch of cool stuff. Create an instantaneous sensory effect, like a sound, smell, or spark. Light or snuff out a candle. Clean or soil an object. Cool, warm, or flavor a material. Create an image on a surface, or make a little knickknack in your hands.
Alright, fun story. A DM of mine actually let me use Prestidigitation as an attack once. In the specific is because you can create the sensory stuff like a light or a smell or stuff. YouTube audio is a bit low, my bad, compared to you. I can add it a bit, I can make it a bit. There we go. Because He let me use it as an attack because of creativity. Actually, I got inspired by Full Metal Alchemist in this specific regard, because I was fighting like a chimera, a lion guy, and I literally remember the same scene in Brotherhood. So I said to the TM that I wanted to use prestidigitation to create a strong sense of an ammonia in the place, and since the enemies should have an enhanced smell, it should be a lot stronger to it. And it actually allowed me to do that. So yeah, utility spell can be a weapon if you're creative enough and the DM allows it.
The possibilities for prestidigitation are limited only by your creativity and your DM's patient for nonsense.
Exactly, exactly. And your DM patient for nonsense.
Sigil to disguise letters as being from the king. Create a compass to quickly find north. Snuff out a light source to plunge a battle into darkness. Flavor a deadly poison to taste like wine.
Oh, nice.
Look at that. We ended up finding ways to murder people anyway. There are so many options with this spell. In fact, one of my first ever videos was 101 things you can do with only prestidigitation.
Damn.
Shout out to Minor Illusion, another roleplay focused cantrip that is just as good.
Well, Minor Illusion got cold is not in the inside, it's just a cold, but Minor Illusion got cold. It's something. I got something out of it.
In a creative player's hands, these two spells are crazy. Fifth worst, Friends. Okay.
Oh god, yeah, Friends. Oh no. Alright. Friends. How could I not call for it? You have to you have to stand still to use it, and then they know you used it.
So advantage on all charisma checks against a non-hostile creature sounds great for a bard or a sorcerer handling the social stuff. But this cantrip's name is deceptive. You will not be making any lasting friends with friends. It's also a concentration spell, and it only lasts for 1 minute. You're not going to get through a full meeting with the king or a criminal trial on the back of this spell. More importantly though, like with the spells Charm Person or Charm Monster, the person who you targeted knows that you were cooking their
Yeah,
noodles.
exactly.
However, unlike those charm spells, Friends specifies that the creature immediately becomes hostile to you when the spell ends.
By the way, shout out to using the Dragon Prince as a background. Great show. At least the first narrative arc.
And might even attack. Now, you could use this cantrip to goad a creature into attacking you, but you can also do that by just telling them that you banged them up. Friends also targets you, not the actual target of your friendship. So there is no sorcerer twin spell shenanigans befriending multiple people at once.
You can do shit.
Importantly though, by just having any ally take the help action in a social encounter, backing you up in the conversation, you can get advantage on charisma checks anyway. And doing it that way means you're actively role-playing together. It's healthier and
it's
more
so
fun
cool.
and engaging. It's exactly what playing TTRPGs should be about. Now
It's
that
so
doesn't mean
cool.
that Friends isn't hilarious. It doesn't require line of sight, there is no range limit, and it requires no saving throw. So you can use this to become friends with Tiamat on another plane of existence for 1 minute. You can cast this and then claim to be on good terms with the god of all evil dragons. Under a zone of truth, you would be shown to be being honest. That's going to open a few doors. It only lasts 1 minute, but it is funny. There's also the potential of disguising yourself as someone and then casting Friends on a target. When the Friends spell ends, that target will become hostile to the person you are disguised as. Essentially, you can gaslight strangers into killing each other. This is very nebulous though. Definitely.
That's a great idea, actually. That's a great idea for a very chaotic character. use this guy's self and friend to mess with people, because they're gonna believe that the people you're disguised to are the one messing with everyone's head.
Something your GM would need to approve. For its actual intended purpose, Friends is utter garbage. Fourth best, Booming Blade.
Oh, Booming Blade code. Booming Blade code. I got another.
Spells good when every melee attacking class in the game wants it. Eldritch Knights, Arcane Tricksters, Rangers, Paladins, Hexblade Warlocks, and Bladesinger stocks just exploded. Booming Blade is a cantrip with an inbuilt melee weapon attack that also deals extra thunder damage on a hit. Then, if the target moves before the start of your next turn, they take even more damage, essentially locking them down in combat. It also means you can be incredibly annoying if you're a goblin, rogue, or monk who can disengage as a bonus action. You can slap an enemy and run away safely, and they can't chase you without exploding. Shout out to the other big melee weapon cantrip, Green Flame Blade, which is similar but slightly worse.
Oh, it's the other one.
Is more often resisted than thunder damage.
It's the other one I called. Nice.
To hit a second creature with one attack through Green Flame Blade slams the dopamine like a hit of crack, but it's not going to happen that often. In fact, Booming Blade is so good, it's worth...
I got it only now, so I'm gonna pause and say it. Why I didn't think before of guidance? Of course there's gonna be guidance in the 5 best. Yes, yeah, there's absolutely going to be guidance in the 5 best. So many cantrips I've never seen. There is absolutely gonna be, because I'm well, as we watch the video, I'm also thinking about stuff. So, yeah, I'm gonna add guidance to the best, and I think I got another worse. I'm calling guiding light, not that, dancing light. I'm calling dancing light in the worst one. Because it's so useless. It's a concentration spell that you have to move the lights. When there is the light cantrip that creates more light, it lasts an hour. Yeah, no, okay, I'm gonna call it. I'm also gonna keep thinking for other stuff. Let's see.
Playing a specific race like Half-Elf or Kobold just to get access to this if you're a rogue. It is an optimal cantrip to use with the Bladesinger's multi-attack action.
You don't understand. Light is great. Like you can cast it on an object and it lasts for an hour and it has a very big radius. Dancing light require concentration. It makes less light, and you need to keep concentration. I think it's a concentration cantrip.
And a Paladin Sorcerer multi-class that quicken casts Booming Blade for an extra attack as a bonus action is one of the most powerful late-game melee attacking builds in D&D. Fourth worst, Blade Ward. What if you could gain resistance to all physical damage for...
Oh yeah, Blade Ward. Okay, Blade Ward can be good, but it's very situational. You gain resistance to one type of damage, but just one specifically. So you either already know before starting, or meh.
For one turn. It doesn't sound too bad, and this cantrip does that, except it costs an entire action. Look, this just ain't worth spending an entire turn on. Sure, maybe if you're literally surrounded by goons, it might appear worth it, but even then, you're better off taking the disengage action.
Oh, no, okay, no, it only lasts one turn. Garbage, absolute garbage. I remember it better than what it was. And hey, BG free.
And running away. Damage avoidance is always better. than damage mitigation. But hold up, Blade Ward gives resistance to bludgeoning damage, so does that mean I could use this as a parachute if I jumped off a building? Sadly, no, because you only resist damage from weapon attacks, so you can't even get clever with this. Now, Earth Genasi can cast this as a bonus action a few times per long rest. That's pretty good. I can see a tanky paladin quite enjoying that feature, but it's only on Earth Genasi, and they had to literally change the casting time of the spell to make it
useful.
The truth is that wars of attrition in D&D almost never go in favor of the player. It can appear tempting to boost your defenses as a squishy spellcaster, but the best way to stop something from damaging you is to kill it. Focus on killing it. Pop quiz! Why aren't you playing D&D?
I have no idea.
A. D&D isn't real.
I mean, I know. Because I don't have any friend that wants to play it.
Is the answer. B. You remind people of their dead relatives. Every time we play, I'm thinking about my grandma, who's dead, and I don't like it. Is the answer C. You're just too attractive. No one can deal with it. Everyone's too jealous. And the answer is, of course, D. You're not using Start Playing Games.
Oh, he's a spotter, right?
C was partly the answer. Start Playing is the ultimate online platform for people to find tabletop
We're gonna watch the ad,
games
we're not
and
gonna skip the ad.
GMs for any game system and any virtual tabletop. With over 60,000 players, verified reviews of game masters, and options to join a group solo or with a group of friends. Play any edition of D&D, Pathfinder, DC-20, Candela Obscura, Shadowdark, Call of Cthulhu, or anything you're interested in exploring. Make friends, join games especially designed for new players learning a system, or even run games yourself. Ash Ellie, who co-wrote this video and writes for RPG.
Alright. While we respect the ad, let's talk a bit more. I think I'm reaching the end of my thought process, but since a couple spots already got taken out, we need third, second, and first spot for the good one. First is gonna be keep calling Eldritch Blast. At this point, at the second, probably Guidance. I wanna say Toll of the Dead because it's one of my favorite cantrip ever. But it's probably gonna be Vicious Mockery in the best one. Because of the disadvantage. Yeah, come on. Let's see.
Even runs games there as a 5-star rated pro GM. Plus, anyone who uses my link gets a $10 credit free towards their first game. Check out startplaying.games using the link below and start playing today. Third worst, Resistance. Oh, this spell makes me sad.
No, concentration.
Requires your concentration. This is also a cantrip that is specifically designed for in-combat use. Don't go wasting your concentration on a simple cantrip when you're in a fight. There are better options. What Resistance actually does is target one creature for 1 minute, and then at some point in that minute, when they make a saving throw, they can add 1d4 to the result.
Yeah, but why concentration?
This to a similar spell, Bless, which targets multiple people, lasts for 10 minutes, and boosts all saving throws, attack rolls, and ability checks. Also, 9 times out of 10, you won't know when you're gonna be forced to make a save. Most effects, like poison or spells or even traps, are instantaneous and only give you the chance to make one save. Since this takes an entire action, you probably have to know that a save is incoming to get use out of it. And if you know a save is incoming, you can probably avoid it altogether. Big brain. This could be a good cantrip if you could cast it as a reaction, the way people pretend that the guidance spell works. Unfortunately, that...
The way people pretend that guidance works. Everyone use guidance as a reaction. Baldur's Gate 3 put guidance as a reaction on the dialogue.
Just isn't how this works. It's always better to be proactive in D&D. don't plan for failure, and yeah, don't take this cantrip. Third best, Mind Sliver. This baby was introduced in Tasha's Cauldron of Everything, and it is fantastic.
Mind Sliver is a cantrip? I didn't remember it to be a cantrip. Okay, no, then it's a must. It's a fucking must.
Any spellcaster to have. Firstly, it targets intelligence saves, the statistically lowest save for enemy monsters to have in D&D. Then it deals a respectable D6 psychic damage. Not bad for a cantrip. Finally, it forces the target of the spell to roll a D4 and subtract that number from their next saving throw. This is amazing for setting up big save or suck spells on monsters you might otherwise struggle to get through. Banishment, Polymorph, Hypnotic Pattern, Hold Person, all of these are brutal saving throws that you can set up for success with Mind Sliver. And if you're an Eloquence Bard, forget about it. Combine this with Unsettling Words and you are ripping massive chunks off your enemy's saving.
Also nice for
and
the...
of course, that's even before we think about combining it with the Forbidden Spell. Teamwork is disgustingly strong in D&D, and there's little better than Player 1 casting Mind Sliver, Player 2 casting an empowered Dominate person and forcing the bad guy to jump off a cliff. Second worst, Dancing Lights.
Oh, called it.
Called Dungeons and Dragons, it makes sense. Every now and then you're gonna run into a dungeon where it's probably dark. You're gonna probably want some kind of light source. There are lots of ways to accomplish this, but the absolute worst, short of setting yourself on fire, is Dancing Lights. See, every class that gets access to Dancing Lights also gets access to the Light cantrip, so we should compare the two. At first glance, Dancing Lights seems superior, giving you 4 orbs of movable light.
No, it's not. It's
like
awful.
Thomas Edison, it gets worse and worse the more you know about it. Yet again, you have a spell that takes up your valuable concentration, and it only lasts 1 minute compared to Light's no concentration 1 hour. Yeah, the Light spell doesn't require concentration. Did you know that? I didn't until I looked it up. That means if you get into combat while concentrating on Dancing Lights, any damage that you take could leave you in the dark, blinded if you drop concentration. If you don't want the party fighting without vision, you've got to keep concentration on this instead of on a more powerful effect like Bless. That is a terrible place to be in. But even as a method of exploration, Dancing Lights doesn't hold a candle to light. The orbs of light are slow, and they only produce dim light. Dim light means disadvantage on all your perception checks. It is very mid. On top of that, you need to use a bonus action every turn to move the orbs, and they vanish if they ever get too far away from you. The light cantrip doesn't have any of these issues.
Boom, light.
On an object, like a shield or someone's boots, and don't think about it again. You can even cast light on an arrow, and then get your ranger to shoot it 600 feet away, giving you light at a distance. You can actually use this trick to illuminate a group of enemies, so your team can attack them at advantage while you are still cloaked by darkness. On top of that, the light cantrip, or just a regular torch for that matter, creates 4 times the amount of visibility as Dancing Lights. I mean, look at this. This is crazy. Finally,
it's
most
so sad, the Dancing
Light. Dark vision anyway, so this is only really useful for humans, halflings, and dragonborn. And even then, you've always got the option of a regular torch. If a normal torch can do your job better, you know you're dealing with a garbage spell. Second best, Guidance.
Nice.
Now here's a spell that'll teach you to respect the power of a D4. This cantrip is so good and so well known in the community that I don't think I've ever seen a serious cleric or druid build that doesn't have it.
Guidance everywhere.
And allows you to add a D4 to any ability check. Is the rogue gonna pick a lock? Is the druid trying to identify a creature? Is the bard trying to seduce a noble? Guidance is the answer. Guidance is always the answer. The only real limitation on this spell is it can't really be used for long-term checks, like researching something, or used as a reaction when something surprises you. With that in mind, the culture around Guidance basically means it is treated as a reaction spell.
Yes,
like
it
we've
is.
seemingly all decided that that's fine. I mean, it does make games flow better, it's collaborative, and thanks to Baldur's Gate 3, everyone knows about it now. You can even use it when you know you're about to get into combat to boost your initiative rolls. Get it, use it, abuse it, love it. It's Guidance, baby. The worst. True Strike. True Strike is so...
I knew it!
So legendarily bad that it's probably one of the first things you learned about when you started learning D&D. Not only does it share properties with other bad cantrips,
It's the first thing I called.
and requiring a full action to
True
use,
strike.
it also fundamentally doesn't make sense mathematically. Firstly, you use an action to cast this. That is your entire turn. Next turn, if you still have concentration on this spell, you get to give yourself advantage on one attack. So what you've essentially done is sacrificed one attack to cast True Strike to give your next attack advantage. Instead, you could have just attacked twice, and
I called this the worst. I didn't even remember that it was a concentration. So if you get hit, you also have the chance to not have the advantage. Oh
maybe
no.
you'd have hit twice. It is impossible to hit twice using True Strike. Instead, you guarantee that at best, you maybe score a critical hit. Often, you'll just get one normal hit, and sometimes you will still miss. And that's ignoring all the occasions that you died or lost concentration on this spell because your enemy didn't waste their turn and punched you in the throat. True Strike is a terrible spell, but it is also a great teacher. It is a useful lesson to understand why this spell is bad, and for that reason, it's kind of cool. The best.
That's
Eldritch
so
Blast.
awful.
It's Old Faithful.
Oh, obviously,
It's the machine
obviously,
gun.
obviously.
It's the cantrip you sold your soul to access. 1d10 is the highest damage of any cantrip with an attack roll, tied with Firebolt, but force damage is much better than fire damage. Eldritch Blast is also much more reliable than the two cantrips that technically outdamage it, Toll the Dead and Poison Spray, which target an enemy's saving throws. Eldritch Blast is also unique because it scales across the game by giving you extra attacks.
Yeah, exactly. It's the only one.
Damage on a hit. That means you can split damage up across multiple distant enemies, something no other cantrip can do. But of course, it's Warlock invocations that make this thing truly crazy, letting you buff Eldritch Blast to the moon. You can add your Charisma modifier to the damage of every single beam, damage that can only be matched in weaponry by a fighter with a heavy crossbow and the crossbow expert feat. You can push or pull creatures of any size without a save on a hit. Be it a kitten or a Tarrasque, you can send it flying through the air and deal massive damage when combined with spike growth. You can also boost the range of your blast to 300 feet or play utility by slowing enemies down when you hit them. People say fighters make the most attacks in the game, but do they? Because anyone with Eldritch Blast can make 4 attacks as one action from level 17. Fighters have to wait till level 20 to do that. Anyone can grab it with the Magic Initiate feat alongside the first level spell Hex, which you can throw on an enemy beforehand to deal even more damage with your Eldritch Machine Gun. Or grab the Spell Sniper feat with Eldritch Blast and you've turned D&D into Ghost Recon, sniping kobolds from 600 feet away. It is a testament to Eldritch Blast that despite everyone agreeing it's insanely powerful and customizable, no one ever hates on it or calls it overpowered. It's simply too fun to hate on. It is the best designed cantrip in the game. You can support this channel on Patreon to access a bunch of awesome rewards, including new subclasses, races, feats, spells, rules expansions, and adventures created by me every single month. It's awesome, it makes all of this possible, and I run games on there as well. Check that out at the link below. Remember to like and subscribe, check out other videos on the channel, and yeah, that's basically all I got. I'll see you next time.
Stop.
Here are the 5.
Stop. There we go. Go back. Alright. That was it. I hope I commented enough on it. Mostly, randomly. I have no fucking idea what I did. That being said, boy, we're gonna leave this there. Let's see. Multiclass. What else can we see? Best country. Feats. Every class. Every species. Ranking the race. Damn. The most banned player abilities. Most powerful fit combos. Best and worst feat. Let's see, best and worst feat. Come on. Might be interesting.
Here are
Boom. All right. Hi everyone, I'm Master, your hopefully favorite puppet, and I'm still trying to understand how to do this thing. What we're watching is the best and worst feat in D&D by D&D Short. We're gonna see what we get, try to guess some stuff. Link of the original video is obviously in the description, so support the original creator. I'm just an extra. Go watch him, me after, maybe, I don't know. And I already know that it's gonna instantly start, so we're gonna have to do some guesses before even play start. Best and worst feat. I would need to think about it, so I don't want to keep the video paused that long. I would say that Elemental Adept is a good feat. Maybe the Tasha feat. That allows you to gain like a -5 to it, but a +10 to damage. Oh, Lucky. Lucky is absolutely one of the best feat. Worst. I'm not sure. Let's see. Don't have that many prediction. Let's see. Ah, the wrong one. Wrong button.
the 5 best and 5 worst feats in D&D. Warcaster. Welcome to Value.
Oh boy, work. Yeah, okay, let's go.
Warcaster does 3 things and they're all amazing. 1. You have advantage on your concentration checks, so you are way less likely to lose your powerful spells in combat. People take the resilient feats just to pretty much get this effect. 2. You can perform the somatic components of spells
even with
if you
shield
have a
and weapon.
shield or a weapon in that hand. You can cast the shield spell while holding a shield. Wizard fighter multiclasses just went through the roof. You could be
That is actually true. You can cast a shield spell while using a shield. While
in heavy armor with a shield and a staff and be firing out spells like a magical tank. 3. When a creature's movement provokes an opportunity attack from you,
you can use the spell. You can use a cantrip to. Yeah, that's amazing.
Action to cast a spell at that creature rather than attacking them. The spell has to have a casting time of an action and only target that creature. Do you know what's better than casting Power Word Kill? Casting Power Word Kill as a reaction.
Wait, a spell, not a cantrip? Oh, that is OP as fuck.
Spellcasters like druids love this feat, and pretty much any spellcaster is going to get good value out of at least 2 of its effects.
Yes.
Lightly armored. Now I know what you're thinking. How bad can this feat
Oh yeah,
really?
no, it's useless. Yeah, at that point, like, if your class doesn't even have the proficiency with light armor, there is a very big chance that you can access the spell mage armor. Like,
B, it gives you a +1 to dexterity, and it gives light armor proficiency to classes that don't already have it.
Yeah, but
well, for a start, that means it's
awful.
useless for every class in the game except for monks, sorcerers, and wizards. Monks get unarmored defense, and the spellcasters get mage armor. Mage armor sets your AC to 13 plus dexterity. The best non-magical light armor in the game is studded leather, which only has an AC of 12 plus dexterity.
Yeah, exactly.
But big brain here. What if you actually find some +2 studded leather armor, a very rare magic item? Well, by taking this feat and wearing it, you're essentially raising your AC by 1 in that niche.
Yeah, exactly. It's useless.
Do you know what else could have boosted your AC by 1? Just putting the freaking ability score increase you gave up
in
to
dexterity.
take this feat into dexterity. That does the exact same thing and boosts your initiative and your dex saving throws and a ton of skills, and it means the bard or rogue in the party can have the armor you found, which was definitely intended for them, not for you. You are worthy of love. Never trust the voice in your head that says you should take the lightly armored feat. Polearm Master. This bad boy can fit so many goddamn combos.
Oh, I love it.
So Polearm Master works with glaives, halberds, quarterstaffs, and spears. And when you take the attack action with that weapon, you can
also use a bonus action. Yeah. I love the idiot and overused combo with the Guardian feat. That you, if an enemy tries to reach you, you're gonna stop him at 3 meters from you.
Make a bonus action attack with the butt of the weapon, but it only deals 1d4 damage. Extra attacks are extra attacks, that's great, but what's even better is that when an enemy enters your reach while you hold a polearm, you can use a reaction to attack them. This combos amazingly with the Sentinel feat, which says when you hit a creature with an opportunity attack, its movement speed falls to 0. So a creature runs up trying to tear your face off, you block them with your polearm from 10 feet away, and they can no longer move. That means they can't reach you, and on your next turn you can retreat and do the whole thing again. This is monstrously strong in 1v1 combat, but even without that combo, Polearm Master is really good, and it forms part of arguably the strongest level 1 build in the game, the Pole Dancing Barbarian. Video is up here if you want to check that out. Weapon Master. I can't believe this is only the 4th worst feat in the game. Weapon Master gives you a +1 to either strength or dex, which is a good start. It then gives you proficiency with 4 weapons of your choice. Okay, so here's the thing.
For a second, I thought he was saying that Weapon Master is a good one. What? Wait, what? Weapon Master? Good? Oh, no. Okay, worse.
Every class already gets every weapon proficiency that they need. The only potential use for this is for a custom lineage monk to grab this feat at level 1, grabbing proficiency with the longsword and rounding their dexterity score up to 18. Then at level 2, you can make the longsword your dedicated weapon, and you've upgraded your D6 short sword into a D8 longsword. If that sounds bad, it's because it is. The issue is that even in the incredibly niche circumstances where you do need another weapon proficiency, you can just be one of the many amazing races that give you weapon proficiencies for free. Any dwarf, any elf with the new trance ability, the Githyanki, there's too many to list. But the ultimate hilarious insult is that Tasha's Cauldron of Everything, the official book, recommends taking this feat on your fighter.
What?
Your fighter.
Wait, what? Go back.
Recommends taking this.
It recommends it. It recommends taking the Weapon Master feat on a fighter that has competence on
feet on your fighter.
I didn't know
your
this.
Fighter who already has proficiency with every martial weapon. Yeah, this feat is terrible.
I had no fucking idea.
Watch this. Yo, dude, what's up? What are you doing? You said we were playing D&D with spirits tonight. I've been on the vodka, but it's barely affected me. No, I said we'd be playing with the Book of Spirits, the new expansion for D&D. What? It's a Kickstarter with over 7 classes and species, over 50 spirit creatures you can befriend or fight, over 30 new spirit boons and banes.
Time.
Oh my god, I need it! It's got a whole new rules expansion too. Resonance, a symbiotic mechanic based on dramatic roleplay. 10 spiritual environments, 11 premium minis, and a full original soundtrack. That's amazing! I'm gonna throw up. It's even got a whole new class, the Conduit, letting you fuse with spirits and unleash mystic powers. I'm unleashing my mystic powers. Nah, dude.
Kinda cringe, but I like the class.
Right now. Whatever. Let's play. Cross the veil into the spirit realm with the beautiful Book of Spirits. Enter a realm of magic, explore incredible character options, and expand your game with inspiring new mechanics. Bring the spirit realm to your world. Back now on Kickstarter, link in description.
Alright.
Prodigy. Race exclusive feats can be really cool. Spoiler alert, this one is not cool.
This one is not cool.
Exclusively available to humans, half-orcs, and half-elves, and all it does is grab you proficiency in a tool, proficiency in a skill, expertise in a skill, and a new language. For a start, nobody cares about grabbing a feat to learn languages and tools. That's what your background is for. But expertise in a skill? That is really good. The problem is, you would never take Prodigy because the feat Skill Expert exists. Skill Expert does the exact same thing as the important part of Prodigy, and it gives you a +1 to any stats, and anyone can take it.
Yeah, exactly.
Fellas, we just solved racism. Look, there are a few feats that suck in D&D. A linguist, keen mind, stuff you're basically never gonna use. They are definitely trash, but at least they give you a
at least they're better.
Stats. Anybody can take them, and maybe they give you something to roleplay or work with your character identity. But Prodigy doesn't even do that. Never take this one. Fey Touched. There are a bunch of awesome initiate spells.
It also said or Shadow Touch, right?
Take this one. Fey.
Okay, or Shadow Touch. Yeah. These one are amazing.
There are a bunch of awesome initiate spells in D&D that basically serve to give you some free spells. Magic Initiate, Artificer Initiate, Shadow Touched, even the underrated Aberrant Dragon Mark. But the best of all of them
I don't even know the last one.
For a start, you get a +1 to your intelligence, charisma, or wisdom. Then you learn the spell Misty Step, which is an absolute powerhouse second level option, letting you teleport 30 feet as a bonus action. But wait, you also get a first level spell from the enchantment or divination schools of magic.
Nice.
And there's some great options here. Charm Person, Bless, Bane, even Silvery Barbs. You can only cast it once per long rest for free, but if you're a spellcaster, you can cast it with your normal spell slots too. This would be a solid feat if all it did was give you the spells. That +1 to your stats pushes it to God tier. There isn't a build in the game, except maybe some barbarians, where this feat isn't fantastic. Dungeon Delver. Oh, why did they have to waste such a cool name on such a garbage feat? Let's break this down. You have advantage on perception and investigation checks.
Yeah,
to find
it's the one to see the traps.
Not terrible until you remember that any party of 2 or more can get advantage on investigation or perception checks at any time to find anything by just taking the help action. Then you have advantage on avoiding traps and avoiding damage from traps. Look, real talk, I've DM'd and run like thousands of games of D&D. I think this would have been relevant maybe 6 times in all those games. Finally, traveling at a fast pace doesn't impose a -5 to your perception, which is technically an upside, I guess, if your table even uses that rule. The problem is, all these things are done so much better by the Observant feat, which gives you a +5 to your passive perception and investigation, a +1 to your stats, and has a cool roleplay lip reading. Dungeon Delver harkens back to a simpler time, when D&D was just a way for one kid to bully 4 other kids by running them through a certain death dungeon and pretending that it was fair. It was a fun time, sure, but the game has moved on, and most parties...
One specific dead dungeon and pretending it was... Oh boy. Oh boy. I wanna run that specific dungeon to some friends, just to see the reaction to it. Oh, I wanna do it so much.
Never even do traditional dungeon crawls. Sharpshooter and Great Weapon Master.
Oh, I called this. I called it. This I called it. The -5 to hit, but +10 to damage.
I'm clumping these two together because they're basically the same level of insanity. Great Weapon Master works with heavy weapons like the Greatsword, and Sharpshooter works for ranged weapons, including thrown weapons. Interestingly, both feats share the same ability that when you make an attack roll, you can take a -5 on that attack, and if you hit, you deal an additional 10 damage. That's a lot of damage. If you can reliably get advantage on your attacks like a Reckless Barbarian or a Samurai Fighter, that -5 is basically nullified. So these feats pretty much double your damage output, but that's not all. Sharpshooter lets you shoot at long range without disadvantage and ignore 3/4 and half cover.
Oh boy.
You can be sniping people from 600 feet away.
Yes.
Great Weapon Master lets you attack again as a bonus action whenever you crit or kill a creature. And with all the extra damage you're throwing out, you're gonna be killing a lot of creatures. These feats are so good that any build that can take them and doesn't is just strictly making itself worse. They're probably broken.
Specifically on Baldur's Gate 3, I did very insane stuff with barbarians and Great Weapon Master. Oh boy, the fuck I did. I love random D&D dumps. Yeah, high stopping. We're doing a bit of reaction content just to try and see what happens with it. We're experimenting.
Actually, which is why martial characters love them. Grappler. Grappler is the worst feat in the game. Not
Grappler? I don't even remember what it does. Wait. You have advantage on attack roll against a creature you are grappled. And you can use your action to try and pin a creature grappled by you. Do so, make an... Okay, I now remember this. And I never considered this one awful. Because I kinda gave it for free to any player character that could have used it by roleplay. I never let anyone get this by actual a use of an actual talent. And that in itself is maybe a proof of accomplishment of how bad this is as a talent.
Not only because it's terrible, but because it lies to you. For a start, this piece of trash has the gall to demand that you have 13 in strength before you can even take it. Then it gives you the first benefit.
It has a requirement, it's right.
You have advantage on attacks against creatures you are grappling. Very niche, but whatever. Benefit number 2, you can use an action, yes, an entire action, to attempt to pin a creature that you are grappling. If you succeed, both you and the creature are restrained, meaning both of you can't move. Both of you have disadvantage on all attacks, and both of you have all incoming attacks made at advantage. You just took an entire action to nerf yourself, when what you could have done is just use one of your attacks to push the target prone. Now the creature is prone, everybody has advantage on melee attack rolls against them, and all their attacks have disadvantage.
That's
the
so
only
true.
difference here is that it cost you less time to do, it's better, and you didn't also screw yourself over by doing it.
Boy.
This pin move is terrible, and the only effect it has is to trick new players into being worse by doing it. The grappler feat makes you a worse grappler. It's not even the best grappling feat. If you want to grapple, Tavern Brawler is a great choice.
Tavern Brawler is amazing. I love Tavern Brawler. You can use improvised weapon as proficiency weapon. And you can start to deal damage with an arm attack.
Letting you attempt to grapple as a bonus action. That's actually a pretty decent feat. I'd say friends don't let friends take the grappler feat, but hell, I wouldn't even let an enemy take this. Lucky. You all saw this
I called it. I fucking called it. I mean, that it was obvious that Lucky was gonna be the fucking first one.
Lucky is both very simple and very simply way too strong. Anytime you make an attack roll, ability check, or saving throw, you can spend one of your 3 luck points per day to roll an additional d20 and take the highest of all the results. You can do this retroactively after you've rolled and seen the results, and it stacks with advantage. So if you're already rolling 2d20, you're now rolling 3. If you have Elven Accuracy, you're now rolling 4. You can even use this defensively to get enemies re-rolling their attack rolls against you. If you get hit by an incoming crit, just use the Lucky feat and they have to re-roll. People hate on Silvery Barbs for doing this, but Lucky's been doing it for years. But the most broken application of the feat comes down to how it's actually worded. Lucky says whenever you use a luck point, you roll 1 extra d20 and take the highest of all the d20s you roll. So if you attack at disadvantage, maybe by blindfolding yourself first, you're rolling 2d20 and keeping the lowest. But then you spend a luck point, roll an additional d20, and you take the highest of all 3 rolls. You've turned disadvantage into super advantage. And this isn't just like a loophole. This was actively intended by the designers. Lucky is an amazing defensive tool. If you want to get cheesy, it's an absolutely unparalleled offensive tool.
Lucky, my beloved.
You can use it to brute force your way through social encounters by re-rolling key persuasion or deception checks. This is the best feat in the game. Every build is better if they have this, and that's why it is by far the most banned. If you want more feats and you want to support the channel, swing on by Patreon. I make a full magazine there every month for everyone who subscribes. If this channel's videos are worth even $3 a month to you, consider supporting on there to help make them and get some awesome rewards. And yeah, that's all I got. Remember to like and subscribe, check out other videos on the channel, and I'll see you next time.
Here are the
Stop. Alright. Oh, that was like lucky, obviously. Lucky was the wait. I'm sorry, as what? What happened? What I need to ask? What the fuck happened? Should I be worried? I feel worried. I have no idea. Can I? I didn't even watch their recommended. Let me open Twitch. Let me open my own stream. There we go. Let me go back into it. And let's see. Okay, we have D&D. Yes, that is absolute. Yes, that is absolutely a elf roleplay ASMR. Not even a question about it. I have successfully created a sidetrack. Yes, you have. Neat. I've seen that one. Good shit. Great taste. I have also seen that one. I've seen the entire series of that one. But I genuinely didn't watch the recommended, so I had to go back to see them. Yeah, it was the nerdy of the what was the term? The human, yeah, it's the human chaser one. Yes. I had the human chaser in the recommended. Oh boy. Let's see. You're welcome. Yeah. I'm feeling a bit tired, so I'm gonna close a bit early today. Can we watch Family Guy's fights? Maybe. I still do I still have the reward to ask for do I still have the redeem to ask for a reaction somewhere? I don't know. Anyway, as I was saying, I'm a bit tired today, so I'm gonna close stream a bit early. This was a test anyway, not a full stream. We were seeing how it goes. Understandable, lad. We also did a 5-hour stream yesterday, so I don't feel guilty by closing early today. Yeah. Alright. See you tomorrow then. Tomorrow we have Ghostbuster. Tomorrow we have Ghostbuster. Yes. Oh boy. See you all.